Well, clearly all aspects of security are up for review. For starters, the RCMP will now guard the Prime Minister around the clock, 7 days a week, no matter where he goes. MPs say Stephen Harper was barricaded with them yesterday in the caucus room as gunshots echoed through Centre Block. But he did not have an RCMP guard. As for the gunman, we filled in some of the gaps in his profile today. Michael Zehaf-Bibeau went from a privileged life of promise to one racked by drugs and poverty. And as Catherine Cullen tells us, his primary emotion of late was anger.
How did he go from this to this? Michael Zehaf-Bibeau's crime was so monstrous, so enormous, but he seems to be a man who recently had very little. We know that for about 2 weeks before the attack, he was living at this Ottawa homeless shelter. Police say he came to the city wanting to get that passport and leave Canada.
He told me I'm praying the Quran to make me stay away from the drug, but then the temptation to the drug is stronger. That's what he told me. I cannot resist, and I want to the only solution is to get out of here.
Zehaf-Bibeau does have a criminal record in several provinces that includes drug charges. And he had other troubles. In 2011, at this BC mosque, he complained that non-Muslims were allowed inside.
The administration sat him down and said, look, this is how we work. If you have a problem with it, it's better you go somewhere else.
Then he was found sleeping in the mosque, having gained access with a stolen key. They changed the locks. All of it part of the picture the RCMP are only starting to piece together.
Of violence and of drugs and of mental instability, combined with some of the things that gave rise to the radicalization, I think is where the focus of our investigation needs to be.
There's also the question of this car that he used in the attack and his gun. How did a man staying at a homeless shelter acquire them?
And it seems clear from our investigation that he had intentions for this car. We don't have any information to suggest that people at the shelter, who we know that he was engaged with, were actively sort of supporting his plot.
A plot that cost the life of Corporal Nathan Cirillo. In a statement, Zehaf-Bibeau's mother said she and her husband grieve that loss. He has lost everything, and he leaves behind a family that must feel nothing but pain and sorrow. We are both crying for them. She also apologized for what she described as the pain, fright, and chaos her son created. I am mad at our son. I don't understand, and part of me wants to hate him at this time. You're right that our son was vulnerable. We don't know. He was lost, and he did not fit in, she wrote. Susan Bibeau says she had lunch with her son just last week, the first time she had seen him in more than 5 years. But it's clear that meeting didn't give her the answer to the question so many people are asking. Just how could this have happened? Catherine Cullen, CBC News, Ottawa.